Look, the judge is not going to want to say this, and probably none of your guests are going to want to say this, but I spent some time in South Africa recently, and people don't want to hear this, but South Africa is a failed country. It is a lawless country. It's a country with an extraordinarily high rate of violent crime, and it's a country with deep, deep racial divisions and problems.
Imagine living in a continent where there is extreme poverty, disease, war, fleet, and a jungle where eating wild animal is very normal.
And we'll eliminate most of the Africans because they're deplorable. They're worthless. They're not part of this world economy. So they have their rights taken away, and they're suppressed and they're experimented.
You must be out of your goddamn mind!
A continent where you are constantly being told how poor and useless your continent's existence has been to human race. Therefore, you need to seek for foreign help or even travel to the elite countries in order to survive.
International Organization for Migration says the number of people trying to reach Europe via the Mediterranean in the past 3 months has increased by 65%. Compared to the same period last year. Now, almost 22,000 migrants have attempted the dangerous crossing this year, and at least 600 have died.
Having said that, some even go as far as being labeled it the dark continent. They put your destiny in their own hands and leave you with nothing but hope and fears.
Victory? Yes, sir! Victory? Yes, sir! Sheezy.
But hold on, something don't seem right. Growing up, you notice what you've been told and not exactly what is going on in your continent. And then it comes to your realization that it has all been a rated game, a game of lies. And you hated yourself for not knowing this truth much earlier. You started to blame yourself on how stupid you've been falling into this mental trap. Frustration gobble up your activity, your brain start to ask series of unanswered questions like why are the negative news being projected in the Western media? Why are the positive news not given equal attention? Why do they make it seem like there's nothing good in Africa? This goes on and on and on and on. Yes, this is done for a purpose. What if I told you there's a booming market where people make millions and billions of dollars for propagating negative news? If I told you these people come in form of media and some disguise themselves as NGOs with genuine intention? Pay close attention now as we uncover some hidden truths and show the other side of the coin which has been hidden from your masses. When we listen to negative news, our emotions spice up to some extent. We feel content about our situation because we see people in worse condition than what we are experiencing. As humans, we are more inclined to patronize negative news than positive ones. This opens a huge market where international media like BBC, CNN, Fox News, Al-jazeera, CNBC, etc. takes advantage of and make millions and billions of dollars out of them, and their network are visible for all to see. Ridiculous, right? Of course, the bad news in America, Britain and all Western side, but the predictor always attack the weakest of the predators, in this case, Africa.
Is crisis, war, and instability. In other words, they grew up in an environment that never depicts a full and balanced picture of my continent.
Even if you have never been to Africa, you cannot really be blamed about your perception about Africa. When Africans go to the Western country, they are often stigmatized and treated differently, which gives some of them no option than to change their identity. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what you see on the media are false, but they are incomplete. The Western media tries to exaggerate and generalize Africa in a more negative way, even though these bad news are only found in few parts of Africa. Only the wives conceive Africa, so they make it seem. And that brings the question, are they really solving the problem? I'm afraid to tell you that they are just in for the news and nothing but the news. Just in case you know, they have allies.
Everyone has these images of Africa, and it's not your fault as Americans. I understand that as Americans, like, you don't know much about South Africa. I've realized this in my time here. You don't know much about Africa as a whole, which is, you guys don't know much about anything, but that's not your fault. It's just you guys are so big and America-centric, you know? And you don't get outside images. You don't see anything. In fact, in my time in America, the only thing I've seen of Africa is always those ads. Have you seen those commercials? Those UNICEF ads have you seen those? They're asking you for the money. I hate those ads. They don't even warn you that those things are coming on TV. I'm sitting there enjoying myself, watching comedy shows, and the next thing you know, you just see this horrible village. It's just dirty, and there's old rusting buildings, and these sad black people, and I'm looking, I'm like, ooh, where is that? Cleveland?
NGOs are non-profitable organizations that operate independently of any government, and their purpose is to address social and political issues. In 1999, the total number of NGOs were 6,000, and as of 2021, the total number of NGOs is 10 million plus, with donors of about 2 million around the world. Does that ring a bell? I know the statistics can be very boring, but what it really means is that the competition for fundraising got more fierce and more fierce. Therefore, big NGOs like Oxfam, UNICEF, Red Cross, Amnesty International, CARE, Doctors Without Borders, and a whole lot of them spend millions of dollars on ads campaigns.
Oxfam, UNICEF, Red Cross, Life Aid, and all the other organizations that continuously run multi-million-dollar advertisement campaigns depicting charity porn to sustain that image of Africa globally. Ad campaigns paid for by innocent people under the impression to help with their donations.
And the more intriguing your ad is, the more money you make.
Your father, where is he?
My father left when I was 2 years old. He went to look for a job and he never returned ever since. So I've been the man of the house. Is this your first charity appeal?
Kurt! Michelle, you must stick to the script.
Unfortunately, since most of the millions and billions of donations goes into ads and payment of employees and travels, only little of the money goes where it was intended for. The more they make African look bad, the more richer they become. What a bombshell. An article by John Heller University reveals that if the NGOs were to be a country, they would have the 5th largest economy in the world. But hold on, I'm not saying that there are no genuine NGOs out there. It's just a matter of time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the real Africa.
One of the most beautiful national anthems in the world. South Africa. I never knew a day would come and negative. South Africa is not what you think.
Africa, and if you want to come to this amazing city, here are a few things that you should know about my city. Firstly, it is the city of gold, the city of opportunity, and if you're a real hustler, there's nowhere else that you will know how to hustle and bustle than in Johannesburg.
As you all know that Namibia has a very bitter history. We are standing right in front of the Independence Avenue, one of the longest avenue in the city and one of the most center of power and where you find most of landscapes of power in Windhoek are in this avenue. So you find like the main banks are here, the headquarters of the main companies are also here. There's also a museum and tourists also, this is where they kind of like...
Traveling in the motherland has really humbled me. There is a saying that don't listen to what they say, but go and see things for yourself. Go live your life. Go learn something new and make sure you explore. Traveling in Africa has really opened my mind.
This is the Africa that the Western media will not show you, with countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, South Africa, Kenya, etc. among the fastest growing economy in the world. And have you taken the time to ask yourself where the 2010 FIFA World Cup was held? Comment below if you think it was in a war zone. If up to this point you still think Africa is just a country with a common language, then you are wrong. Actually, there's a lot to talk about Africa, from history to culture to music and varieties of achievements. Sadly, we cannot talk about all these in this video. If you enjoyed this clip, just hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe and get the latest updates and the top recent videos. We'll see you on the other side, and enjoy the rest of your